Good morning students. Today we will see the university questions in paper 1 physiology, reasoning type questions. Okay. The first is the proton pump inhibitors in peptic ulcer disease. How it is used. See, this is a parietal cell present in the stomach where we have the proton pumps, that is H plus K plus pump. It secretes the H plus ion, and along with Cl we have HCl is produced. This pump is called H plus K plus ATPase or the proton pumps. So inhibition of this pump, that is the role by the proton pump inhibitors, causes decreased H plus ion secretion and decreased HCl output. So the parietal cell secretes H plus ion through this pump, and examples of omeprazole and pantoprazole, they are called PPI, proton pump inhibitors. They inhibit this pump and block of this final pathway of gastric secretion. The second question is, why is plasma protein concentration is higher inside the capillary compared to the interstitial fluid? See, inside the capillary, the plasma proteins is higher because they are not permeable through the capillaries. They cannot be filtered along with the fluid or along with the plasma because of the size, and this makes the plasma with higher concentration of proteins, especially albumin. They are larger molecules, so they cannot readily pass, or they cannot readily cross through the capillary wall. So they are retained predominantly within the plasma. That is why the concentration higher inside the capillary compared to the interstitial fluid. But when there is any damage, when there is any inflammation, these proteins will be filtered and along with the plasma, and they will be found in the interstitial fluid. That causes low level of the plasma proteins. Why leukopenia occur in enteric fever? See, enteric fever is otherwise called typhoid, which is called by the Salmonella typhi. This bacteria invades the bone marrow. So it enters the blood, spreads to the liver, spleen, and invades the bone marrow. So the bone marrow is the site for the leukopoiesis, or the development of white blood cells, and this causes decreased production of WBC and leukopenia. So enteric fever is caused by the Salmonella typhi. The infection involves the bone marrow, and granulopoiesis, that is development of WBC, is suppressed, and that leads to the, also there is a leukocyte destruction, another contributing factor, additional factor, decrease in the WBC count or leukopenia. Then how the exogenous administration of glucocorticoids causes adrenal cortical atrophy, or why? See, when you give glucocorticoids from outside, that is exogenous, it has negative feedback mechanism. So you know negative and positive feedback. What is negative feedback? When that hormone level increases, it will send inhibitory signals to the higher centers, hypothalamus and pituitary. So there is a decrease in the corticotrophin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus, and decreased ACTH, adrenocorticotrophic hormone, from the pituitary, and this both will decrease the support, trophic support or nutritional support to the adrenal cortex, and that causes the adrenal cortex going for atrophy or decrease in the size. So sequence is increase glucocorticoids, decrease CRH, decrease ACTH, decrease adrenal stimulation, or the nutritional support is decreased, so the growth will be arrested, and that leads to cortical atrophy. Now the last question, why does glycosuria occurs above the renal threshold? Okay, see, glucose is freely filtered at the glomerulus, that is the first point. So normally almost all the filtered glucose is reabsorbed in the proximal tubule. The reabsorption has a capacity, a maximum capacity, that is called TM, that is transport maximum, that is 180 milligram. So when the plasma glucose exceeds 180 milligram, this transport maximum is exceeded, the filtered load goes beyond the reabsorptive capacity. It is going beyond the reabsorptive capacity. So excess glucose is excreted in the urine. So because of the exceeding of the transport maximum TM, that is a reabsorptive capacity, glucose is excreted in the urine. When this happens, when the plasma blood glucose is, or when the plasma glucose level is more than 180 milligram, this happens. Thank you.